Alright then. Quite honestly, I don't know what I'm doing with this one. Well, it's not that I don't know, it's about the facts, to be honest. Like, I know very little, because what I'm about to do, it involves Marvel and comics. See, those are two things that you should not bring up in front of me. Never. Never. Never in your life should you bring those up in front of me. Not because I don't like Marvel and comics or anything. No, health. Like if you know me, you know I love reading comics. Like that's the daily for me. I love reading comics. All right, I never get tired of reading comics. No matter what type of comic, even if it's gory, I'm still gonna find some sort of satisfaction. It doesn't matter whether it's small, big, medium. No matter how small it is, it's still satisfaction to me. Even the smallest thing can be the biggest things for me. All right, but like I don't have much. Like I don't know much about things like about Marvel, all right? Things about like Marvel and DC comics. I don't know much about them, all right? I just know the basics, all right? I just know the basics, but like, cuz like all right. If you have TikTok, I want you to go check out King and Queen Lion or King and Queen Lions cuz he gives some good facts about comics. And he dog waters niggas. I like that. But yeah, I've been listening to the facts that he gives off, and quite honestly, I like them. I like them, and quite honestly, I've always wanted to do like superhero things, like superhero, like what ifs, for Deku, since Deku he wants to be a hero, so why not help him learn from one? Cause recently I watched a what if Deku married Supergirl. Now I'm not doing the same thing. No, it's a different superhero female. And quite honestly, she's probably one of my favorite superheroes, female superheroes actually. She like she may be kind of like the polar opposite of me, like our personalities, but still, I kind of like her personality and stuff like that. Hold on. So yeah, it's kind of hard to say whether this will be good or not, cause I highly doubt that I'll have anything good come out of this. What if? Hell, I feel like King and Queen Lions will probably watch this because he has a YouTube channel, so I highly doubt it. But yeah, oh my god, hold on. So yeah, it's another female character. I like this female character, so don't know about I know about like some of the things that she done, and I know about a lot of things of Marvel now. Well, not a lot, but some things. Basically, things that you should know. But I just want to do this, all right, just because. And this is actually gonna be in the future when Deku's in UA, not actually when he's young. So yeah, kind of see where this is going. I hope you can see where this is going. So, so quite honestly, hold on, goddamn. So, yeah. I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna do this. All right, somehow. All right, let's just go with this and see how it goes. And if you don't like it, you guys can tell me. I can delete it. So yeah, but quite honestly, this is what if Deku was married to the undefeatable Squirrel Girl. Yay, Squirrel Girl. Yeah, she's one of my favorite female characters. Second favorite, probably either Captain Marvel or Supergirl. But who knows? But anyways, yeah, let's get started. So this is actually gonna be like not at the start of the anime, but kind of like after the sports festival. Yeah, the sports festival. Yeah, definitely. So basically after the sports festival, everything went as normal and stuff like that, with them getting their letters to internship with heroes and stuff like that. But this time it's different. Deku got a lot of complaints from UA, got complaints from Gran Torino about Deku being too impulsive and stuff like that, about like the whole fight and stuff like that, and how he's being reckless with his power and stuff like that. And All Might's been thinking lately that young Midoriya has been really weak, really weak, as a matter of fact. And quite honestly, he's been getting annoyed by it because he just looks at Bakugo and he thinks Bakugo could be a better successor than Deku. Because now he's starting to see Deku and look at him and think of him as, well, Deku. He doesn't see him as young Midoriya, he's seeing him as Deku. And Nezu, he's also getting pissed off because of the complaints. And Gran Torino wasn't the only one. There were also many other heroes that were giving him complaints. And then he found out about the whole incident with, before he went to UA, how he met All Might and the whole Sludge Villain attack thing. And he thinks this kid is too reckless and he can't be a hero. He'll get our school into danger. That's what he thinks. But we all know Deku don't do that. Deku best boy. But anyways, that kind of hurts his feelings. Well, not Deku itself, because Deku doesn't know about this. So basically, the day they go back to school, after the whole fight with Stain and stuff like that, right when they walk through, like, the class except for Ida and Todoroki started to hate Deku because of, well, the reports from Nezu telling them and stuff like that about how he's being impulsive and stuff like that. And yeah, I wouldn't say they hate Deku per se. It's not like they hate him, it's just that, like, they feel more in danger. Yeah, they feel like they're in danger with him being there due to how impulsive he is and how he attracts a lot of danger. The only person who does not feel that way is Bakugo, because Bakugo thinks he can defeat anyone. But that's just Bakugo. We all know that's just Bakugo. So we don't really care about that. So anyways, yeah, hold on. So, yeah, that's basically what happened. As basically, Deku walks into the class to immediately get told by Aizawa to go to Nezu's office. As Deku, confused about what's going on, but still agrees to go to Nezu's office, he goes to Nezu's office, knocks on the door. Nezu says, "Come in." As Deku says, Nezu, is there a problem? As basically, Nezu says, "Yes, there is. You shall be expelled from UA High School." No, UA High School. Because I'm going to do the same thing I don't do. I don't do this often. I don't do this one often. I don't use this concept often. It's kind of very little. The UA College after high school. So, yeah. So basically, Nezu says you are hereby expelled from UA High School. As Deku says, what? Why? As basically, Nezu explains that he is a danger to the hero society with how much danger he attracts to himself and stuff like that. Now, he does not know Nezu. Let's just say he does not know anything about One for All. Yeah, normally, Nezu, we all know that Nezu knows about One for All. We all know that he knows about it. Because, well, he got connections, like shit. You think this nigga wouldn't know? So, yeah. So, he knows about One for All and stuff like that. And All Might barges into the door and says, "Nezu, I heard young Midoriya is here." No, young Deku. As Nezu says, "Yeah, he's right in front of me right here. I was just about to tell him to leave." As All Might said, "Good, then I'll escort him." As Nezu proceeds to go to Midoriya and punch him and says, "Young Midoriya, no. Deku, give me back One for All." As Deku says, why? As All Might says, "Because you are too weak. At this rate, you will never be number one." I guess Bakugo was right. You are a loser, a weakling. Pathetic. As All Might takes back the quirk after Deku struggled for a few seconds of giving him back the quirk, as he finally gave in and gave it to All Might. Now, All Might beats up, punches Midoriya a few more times, breaking a few ribs. No, not breaking a few ribs, just hurting him, basically. Not severely injuring him, but hurting him nonetheless. As he proceeds to, well, pick up Midoriya and throw him out of UA. As basically, Squirrel Girl was in the area. Normally, this would never happen because it's all the way in Japan. Squirrel Girl, I think she's in America, right? Yeah, America. But this time, let's just say that she's just taking a trip because she wanted to see what it's like to see like other heroes and stuff like that. So yeah, and basically, it's basically, it's basically, let's see how this is gonna work. Let's see how this is gonna work. Yeah, I see how this is gonna work. So Deku, he just got beat up by All Might. He's limping and stuff like that. So Deku finally stops at an alleyway, just a random alleyway. As you know, Deku gets jumped by some thugs who wanted some money. No, they beat the shit out of Deku. They took his money and they just ran off. And Inko doesn't know about this. Quite honestly, he didn't hear any news until he gets a phone call saying that, well, oh my god, hold on. So yeah, Inko, yeah, they told him that Inko has sadly passed away in a car crash. Yeah, this one Inko had a car. Not like a big ass car, like a Lambo or anything like that. No, just a small car just for work and stuff like that. So, basically, yeah, Inko's not a housewife no more. She goes to work. I think it's Azashi that's supporting them. Yeah. But anyways, Inko sadly passes away and Deku just it's on the ground. He starts crying. Just starts crying, crying, and crying, and crying, and crying, and crying. Deku cries to the point where he has no more tears to cry and he just passes out from mental fatigue because of everything that happened to him today. And plus, he still hasn't mentally, well, recovered from his past. Includes Bakugo's bullshit, the bullying, whole being told to take a swan dive off the roof. All his negative emotions have been building up for many, many years, and Inko was the only one suppressing them. And, well, Class 1A. Well, at least the happiness in his life. So, the moment he heard that, well, he wouldn't be able to help to have his friends there with him, nor his number one idol, and, well, his last resort to escaping reality has been killed, it just got unleashed. The chains that have bound Deku's negative emotions to kill, destroy, hate everything around him were just let loose, and the first emotion to come out was pain, suffering, and the feeling of sadness. He just cried his eyes out until he passed out from mental fatigue, all while remembering every single bit of detail that had happened today and from his past. As Deku, while he's passed out, Squirrel Girl was just hopping around, I guess. Yeah, hopping around. Yeah, she was. Yeah, he was. Yeah, she was hopping. Yeah, he was hopping around. She was hopping around. My bad. And so she saw, well, Deku passed out in that alleyway, and she thought that he was hurt or something like that because she saw the bruises on him and stuff like that. Oh, Squirrel Girl is definitely bodying All Might. Yeah, some of y'all may be in the comments say, "Oh, how was she able to body All Might? How was she able to body All Might?" If you haven't read the comics, Squirrel Girl beat Thanos, and she was friends with Galactus and many other villains. So no matter what, even if All Might manages to at least beat Squirrel Girl, she has backers of villains and heroes. Now, see, that's why I like her. She completely ignores. She's neglective to the fact that heroes and villains exist. No, she views them as potential friends, allies, whatever it is. Shit, even if you did bad, damn, you could be my friend. And quite honestly, that's what I like about her. Like, shit, I see it that way too. Like, everybody's supposed to be viewed as a hero. Like, I don't know why some people view villains as villains. Like, shit, there's a criminal. He stabbed somebody. Oh, mass murder and shit like that. And he's a rapist. Like, bro, they're still human. Like, it's not their fault. Is it? No, it's not. It's not. It really isn't. Things like rape, murder, suicide bombers. Shit, them niggas ain't bad. No, you may view them as bad. They're not bad. Absolutely not. Shit, if you view the world in the eyes of like actually of like God himself, like he wouldn't view this world of ours as good. Sure, he said it was perfect, but even the most perfect things aren't good. You need to understand that. Alright, what he meant was not perfect as in how it looked. No, he meant between the balance of good and evil. But over time, the world has fucked up so bad that the balance of good and evil has just broken loose. And it's not even a balance between the two. Quite honestly, they then became the same thing. Even the good things became the bad things. Murder for revenge. Shit, that's viewed on as a bad thing. Some people would view it as good. See, you need to understand that some things in this world can't be viewed as good or evil, alright? It's just an action. You need to view the person that's committing the act, their reasoning, not the act they did. Like shit. Like most people, like for example, the cops. Like cops. Do you think they look at a person and they're like, huh? Shit, you had a good ass reason for killing that nigga. No. No, they don't. Judges neither. They don't look at a person and like, you had a good ass reason for doing that. Nah. They look at your ass after you committed a crime and they're like, your ass is a criminal. Your ass is going straight to jail. Shit, doesn't matter whether you're a child, a teen, an adult. Hell, you could be an 80-year-old man. Your ass is straight to jail. Like, I don't understand how things like that work. Like, but anyways, well, we don't care about that, do we now? Yeah. But anyway, so she sees Deku. She picks up Deku. It's not Deku who picks her up bridal style. She picks him up bridal style. She top in the relationship. I'm gonna just say this now. Yeah, she's gonna be top in the relationship. Cause I could legitimately see this. Like shit, if she's able to beat Thanos, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think she beat Galactus. Yeah, she beat Galactus to stop Galactus from eating Earth, and she gave him the shit. Damn, I forgot what it was. Like I didn't forget what it was. I just forgot like what it's called. Like damn it. I didn't forget. Like she beat him. She made his thirst to eat like planets go away by replacing it with nuts. Yeah, basically, that's what she did. She replaced it with eating nuts and stuff like that. Not just squirrel nuts and stuff like that. Many things like peanuts, cashews, and stuff like that. I think that's it. Yeah. So yeah, I don't. Can humans eat acorns? I don't know, man. Can humans eat acorns? I don't know. I feel like humans can eat acorns. Yeah, you can, right? I don't know. Tell me in the comments. Quite honestly, I want to know, what does an acorn taste like? Your boy has taken a bite out of countless acorns when he was young. I'm dead ass. That's not even a lie. I have taken a bite out of countless acorns when I was young. Quite honestly, when I was young, bro, I used to find mad enough acorns. Like, I was like when I was in elementary. Like the route I took, like there was a lot of acorns, a lot as a matter of fact. Yeah, there was a lot. There was even an acorn tree. I'd pluck some acorns out, shit, go home, wash them shits, extra clean too. Like, see, I wouldn't say I'm I'm germophobic. No, it's just like it depends on where the thing's been. Like if it's been on the street, like shit. If it's been on the street, I'm going to wash it with soap at least 3 times before I say shit. Alright, you're good enough to eat. So, yeah, I've ate countless. Not ate, but at least taken a bite out of it. So, like, I got kind of an immunity to actually the taste of, like, a raw acorn. So, yeah. But I wouldn't say that my body is, like, strong enough to digest it. I don't know if it is, though. So, yeah. So, basically, she picks up Deku, and she's been staying at this, like, nearby, at this hotel, because she's a well-known hero. She's a well-known hero, in America. She's a well-known hero in America with niggas like, Captain America and shit like that. So, yeah. Avengers are the #1 hero group, yay. So, yeah, she's a well-known hero in America, and basically, oops, sorry about that. Excuse me, my apologies for that. So she took Deku to that hotel, laid him down on the bed, and she just went to, well, look around, stopping some small criminals while doing so, as when she came back, she saw Deku just. Well, not really Deku. She came back, she still saw Deku laying down. Yeah, she still saw Deku laying down anymore and stuff like that. As basically, um, yeah, so she saw Deku still laying down, so, what she did was she saw that, well, he had, well, dirty clothes, and he looked dirty, so, Squirrel Girl has no fear. Haha, the undefeatable Squirrel Girl. So, she went out real quick, got some clothes, and she picked Deku up, took off his clothes, and took him to, well, the bathroom. She looked and she saw that this man was packing, so she didn't do anything. She just saw he was packed and she said it. So don't worry about it. She just saw she didn't do anything to him. She didn't molest him. She didn't rape him. Quite honestly, I'm not scared to be raped by a girl. It's just how you do it, though. I'm not getting pegged any day in the future. I'm telling you this now. Okay. Okay, that's good. All right then. Like, am I the only one that's okay with getting raped by a girl? I'm okay with getting raped by a girl because I know I'm a fucking bottom. I'm a fucking bottom. If I'm getting raped by a girl, I'm gonna stay my bottom ass down and get raped. Alright? I'm not fighting back unless I feel like shit. I don't like you. You're annoying as fuck. You need to leave me. I won't hit you, like punch you. No, I'll probably like pull your hair and get off and then leave. But if you resist, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to knock you out. That's just how it works. So, yeah. Yeah. I'm not really a bottom, I'm a switch. Yeah, I'm a switch. Yeah. Most of the time, depending on my partner, it's either I'm a bottom or I'm a top. Well, for the top part, it's mostly my mood. So, I'm the type of person to sit there and just let anything happen to me, except for pegging. Pegging is probably the one thing that I will never let you do. Like fingering my butt, my booty hole. Yes. Yeah. That hole. Yeah. The place where poop comes out of. Finger in it, yeah, that's not happening either. Like anything that goes near that hole, I find as a danger to be cautious of. Quite honestly, it's one of the things that I am scared of, okay? Okay, I wish to be a virgin in that hole for the rest of my life. There shall be no girl, no human girl, no female. Okay, I want y'all to understand this, cause there's no way in hell I'm letting a boy go near my ass and touch it. Cause if you do, I would like you to expect a punch to your face. That means your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your forehead, your chin, and your cheeks. Your chest, as in your chest, where your lungs are, where your heart is. And most importantly, your balls. Because that is something I take as an offensive measure. Okay? That I take as an offensive measure. But anyways, so, she gives Deku a shower while he's knocked out. Cleaning every place. Every place. Every place. As in every place. Okay? As well, she dries him off and puts his clothes on. Now, she was staying at this hotel with 2 rooms, and basically she had 2 bedrooms in the room, so she slept on the other bed. Now, Deku, in the middle of the night, about 3 a.m., Deku just wakes up and he jumps out of bed. Not really jumps out, but, well, he just kind of like how you feel when you feel like you're falling, alright? You know how you're sleeping and you have that dream where you're falling. Quite honestly, I'm the one that stays in that dream. I don't know how much times I had that dream and I just stayed in that dream and just slept it off. Quite honestly, that's how my brain works. Quite honestly, it's not like when I'm about to hit the ground, it's not that I have the fear of dying. No. Because I already know how my brain works. I know how my brain works in certain situations in my dreams. So that specific dream, when I'm about to hit the ground, the first thing I see is either pitch darkness going across my face, representing that the dream has ended, or another form of color representing that I'm starting another dream or that same dream over and over again. Hold on. So yeah. Deku, he jumps out of bed. Like, kind of how most people feel when they have that dream. See, I'm not a pussy. I'm not scared to die. So, yeah. I'm not calling any of you a pussy if you're scared to die in those dreams, but you need to understand, it's a dream. Even though your heart stops for, like, drops to zero, heartbeat drops to zero at that moment, still, actually, I'd rather die in my sleep more than anything. That's how it works for me. I'd rather die in my sleep. Like, seeing myself, like, passing away, like, silently passing away in my sleep. That's probably what I call a fitting death. The best death for me. Alright? Things like getting shot and stuff like that, I don't like. Why? Because, well, I don't like to feel pain. I don't like to feel pain. I'm not scared of it, I just don't like to feel it. Why? Because there's one point in time where you're just going to be minding your own business, and that one pain you felt years ago comes back to you like a bitch. So, yeah. But anyways, he pops out of bed, and he starts yelling, "Mom, where are you? Mom, mom, mom." And he's going crazy. He's going insane. He's crying and stuff like that. And Squirrel Girl gets up, hearing his, well, cries for his mother and his tears. As basically, she gets up, she looks next to her, and she sees Deku just on that bed, crying, holding his head, just crying countlessly. A Squirrel Girl, worried for Deku's safety and mental care at the current moment, goes. She basically, well, takes him, and basically, they go. No, they didn't go anywhere. She took him as she just pulled him into for a hug, and she just whispered, "Calm down, it's okay, you're safe," and stuff like that, calming him down. 15 minutes later, Deku has calmed down as Squirrel Girl notices this, and she put his head up and she says, "Do you want to explain what happened?" As Deku silently nods, even though he doesn't know who this is. So, yeah, even though he doesn't know who this is, he silently, says, "Alright," as basically, he explains what happened today. And Squirrel Girl, she's infuriated. She's infuriated about what happened. Why? Because, well, they're viewing his heroic acts as dangerous to the hero society. As, sure, she doesn't have, like, the whole hero is your villain mentality and stuff like that, she still sees people as people, but still, you gotta admit, like, that would piss you off, even if you view villains as humans and heroes as humans, so you view them all in equal status, but still, you get pissed by that, especially me. I'm not gonna lie, I'd be especially pissed if I heard something like that. But anyways, yeah, she's pissed by this. She's pissed, but she wants to go and go beat up the heroes, because she wants to. She's heard about All Might and stuff like that, but she knows damn well that she can beat him. She knows damn well that she can beat All Might. Because, well, shit, she was able to beat Thanos and Galactus. So, I highly doubt that there's a chance of, well, beating All Might being unsuccessful. So, yeah. As basically, god damn it. As basically, she wants to go, but she can't. Why? Because of Deku. Deku is not stopping her, no. She's worried about what will happen to Deku when she leaves. Because she noticed just now that his mental state is not the best. Practically, it's the worst that she's ever seen it, because sure, she's met a lot of heroes, but still, it's not like their mental state was terrible or anything like that, but his is possibly the worst, and he has never killed. Izuku has never killed, but still, his mentality is terrible. Even worse than those who have killed, which is saying something to her, which she finds kind of bad. She does not like it at all. At all. So, what she does, she basically stays with Deku. Alright? Deku, he's just been bedridden for her stay there. Squirrel Girl, she stayed there for at least 2 weeks. She's been bedridden. Deku has been silent, doesn't talk to anyone. except for her. All right. Well, he doesn't talk to her much, but he still talks to her, and it actually took her about 3 days to actually gain his trust. 3 whole days, which is saying something, because well, she normally gains their trust. Not that it's not that hard for her to gain their trust. So she finds him to be a challenge. She found him to be a challenge, which is kind of surprising. Yeah, that's how I'm doing it. So yeah, like, but the facts are still the facts. Like the thing, like taking Thanos and stuff like that. No, not killing, but like defeating Thanos, stuff like that. Yeah, I'm not changing those and stuff like that. I'm just changing like her personality as a hero and stuff like that. So calm down. I'm not doing anything with the Marvel universe. No, I'm not gonna destroy the Marvel universe. No, no. Like I said, I'm not doing that. All right, I'm not. I'm all right. But DC, on the other hand, probably. I'm joking. All right, I wouldn't do that. All right. So yeah. So Deku just stays in bed. Like he always gets a change of clothes from Squirrel Girl. Squirrel Girl basically helps him walk around and stuff like that. So yeah, even because Deku doesn't want to go to the outside world, because at this point Deku practically hates the outside world because of all the things that have happened to him in his past. So this time it's actually worse for quirkless people. It's actually worse, really worse, actually, really worse. So like the population that has superpowers is well less than at least like at least 13%. It's at least, no, not 13, 5%. Yeah, it's at least 5%. So basically in Deku's neighborhood he was always ridiculed, bullied, and hit. And it wasn't just the kids, no, it was the adults, his teachers. And that really messed up Deku in the head. But it was only his mom and his friends keeping his sanity. But his friends never knew that because Deku hid his emotions. The only person who knew was Inko, because while Inko was there through the darkest times with Deku and everything. So basically, when it's time for Squirrel Girl to go, she looks at Izuku and she goes over to him and she says, "Hey, do you want to come with me?" As Deku, he looks up as he said, "Where?" As not like that, but like with his he's with dimming dead voice. He says, "Where?" As his voice is not deep, it's still kind of like that childish voice in the anime, but like kind of low pitch, kind of like that, not like mine's. As basically she says to America. As Deku, he says, "Sure." As she takes out her hand, as Deku, he takes her hand as he gets up, as she says, "Before we go, let's change you." As basically she changes Deku and they walk out holding hands. Not like the whole couple like holding hands type, no. Just like how a mother would hold her son's hand or daughter's hand. So yeah. As basically they just leave the hotel after, well, paying for the stay. As basically Squirrel Girl goes to the airport. As basically yeah. She goes to the airport as basically they go. They go inside. As basically, yeah, so that happens. They go inside. They take the plane to America. As basically, she says, "All right, that's good." As basically, Squirrel Girl, she wants to know what happened in Deku's past because Deku doesn't open up about his past. So she thinks that, well, maybe Mr. Stark can help in some way. Because, well, this man probably has a way to actually see through somebody's past, or at least one of the Avengers. And if that doesn't work, shit, she going to at least Thanos or, Galactus. As basically that happens. But Galactus, she won't be finding Galactus for a while. Unless, well, she'll find Galactus, but it'll take a while for him to come. Because Galactus has things to do, too, because he's a god. So, basically, they go as she looks for Stark, and she finds him. He was at Stark Tower, but she just checked his old yeah, she just checked at Stark Tower. She found Stark there with the other Avengers. As basically she went inside. As she went inside, said hello to everybody. They all looked and said hello to her, but they looked at Izuku, wondering who he was. As basically, she said group meeting, which caught them all off guard, but they said, alright. As basically everybody went to the living room, including Stark, as Stark said, so what's this meeting about, Squirrel Girl? As Squirrel Girl says, well, first, I'd like you to meet somebody. As Stark said, who? As she points at Izuku and said, this is young Izuku. As Stark says, oh, hi there. As Izuku, he's kind of silent, he doesn't respond. As Stark says, that's kind of harsh. As Squirrel Girl says, well, I wouldn't blame him for what happened to him, so he's kind of quiet. As Stark says, oh, can you tell us? As Squirrel Girl says, not right now, maybe later. As she says, okay. As he says, Stark, I need to talk to you in private about something. And it involves his past. I don't know fully about what happened, but it's just that it's kind of bothering me about what happened. I don't know. It just seems that he had a bad past in some sort of way. As Stark says, alrighty then, I guess. Then what was this meeting about? As she says, well, I need him to stay with us. He's gonna stay with us for a little bit. As he says, what do you mean for a little bit? So he's gonna live with you? As she says, no, I'm gonna leave him with Galactus. As they're all widen their eyes and they said, what? Why? Why would you leave him with Galactus? What if Galactus eats him? As she says, Galactus wouldn't eat him. As she says, alright, how are you so sure about that? She says, cause he wouldn't. If he does, I'll beat him. As they said, okay. As basically they said, but you still didn't answer our question. Why would you leave him with Galactus? As they said, that's actually what I need to talk to you about. What I need to talk to you guys in private about. As they said, alright. As they said, well, then we welcome him with open arms. As Thor goes immediately to Izuku and pats him on the back and says, well, nice to meet you. As Izuku nods. As basically Black Widow says, alright, I'll take you to the room and stuff like that. And yeah. As Stark says, hey kid, wait. As Izuku turns around to look at Stark and, well, Stark, there's this little computer thing, this high-tech computer, laptop thing. As he says, here you go. As Izuku says, what's this? As Stark says, this is a laptop, or it's a laptop that you can watch your stuff on. If you want, it could even be 3D. As Izuku says, oh, okay. As basically Izuku goes with Black Widow, and that's basically how it happened. As 5 minutes later, Black Widow comes back and she says, alright, he's on the laptop now. What do you need to talk about with us? As Squirrel Girl, she explains what happened to them, and immediately the people got pissed were Bruce or Thor. No, not Thor, Hulk. Bruce Banner, Hulk, Thor, Cap, Stark. So they immediately got pissed at, well, All Might and Nezu's judgment of his actions, which really ticked him off. As they were about to go, as Squirrel Girl said, don't go, do not do that. As they said, fine, we won't go and attack him. As basically, as she says, well, Mr. Stark, do you have anything that allows you to at least see somebody else's memories in some sort of way? As basically, as basically, hold on. As Stark says, sorry, I haven't invented that yet. She says, damn it. Do you have any way to get us to where Thanos is? As he hears Thanos and he says, yeah, in this one, Thanos, he didn't sacrifice himself to kill Thanos. Squirrel Girl came just in time, beat the living crap out of Thanos, so yeah. Well, not living crap, but she beat Thanos, and no, Thanos dipped off. As basically, Thanos still had the gauntlet, but like, not at like max power. No, I'm joking. He has the full gauntlet. It's just that, well, he's scared of Squirrel Girl. That's why. Cause for some reason the snap doesn't work on Squirrel Girl, and he's kind of frightened knowing the fact that if she can't be erased, there's no point in just erasing people. And it's basically, she says, just bring me to him, as they're frightful of what could happen, but then they remember they have Squirrel Girl. That's easy. As basically, well, they take her to, well, where Thanos is. As Thanos, he's just on that rock chair thing and stuff like that. As Squirrel Girl says, "Hey, Thanos." As Thanos gets startled, he says, "Oh, shh." As he says, "What is it, Squirrel Girl?" As Squirrel Girl explains, "I'm gonna need you to come back to Earth with me." As Thanos says, "Why?" As she goes to Thanos and whispers in his ear the situation. As Thanos says, "Very well, fine. I'm only doing this for you, though. But the boy, on the other hand, I don't know." As Thanos goes back with Squirrel Girl and the other Avengers. Now, the energy was kind of tense. The energy was kind of tense. It was tense, really tense, because they didn't want him using the Reality Stone. It was really tense. So the energy in the air was kind of tense, which Squirrel Girl lightened up the mood and stuff like that, making it a little less tense. Because it was mostly tense because of, well, Thor and Hulk and Thanos. So, yeah. So, basically, they go back, which Izuku was in the tower with Stark. Stark wasn't with them. He just gave them the thing they needed to go. So, yeah. As basically, they go, and basically Stark stayed with Izuku. And stuff like that, so, yeah, don't worry about that. He stayed with Izuku. So, that happens. And, as he proceeds to, Izuku, he's kind of eating right now. He's eating. Stark gave him food, and Izuku actually opened up to Stark real quick because of how smart he was. He was really smart. To Izuku, he was really smart. So Izuku, he was probably one of the smartest people in existence. But he'll come to know of the existence of the one above all. But anyways, yeah. So, yeah, that's kind of how it happened. So basically, Izuku, oh my god. I see, I told you I don't know how this was gonna go. I didn't know how this was gonna go. See, told you. Didn't know how this was gonna go. It's kind of hard for me. It's kind of hard. Kind of hard for me. Real hard for me, actually. Really hard. As basically, Thanos gets off the ship and stuff like that with them. They go into the Stark Tower. They didn't just locally park in the ship. No, they stopped they stopped on Stark Tower. Stark saw Thanos and he punched Thanos for nearly, well, snapping half of existence. And Thanos, he said, "I deserve that." And Stark says, "Well, the kid is over here. Light as hell outside." As he proceeds to bring Thanos to, well, the room where Izuku is. As he just sees Izuku beating his... I'm sorry, he wasn't doing that. Just watching some YouTube videos, I guess? Yeah, some basic YouTube videos. You know, playing with Stark's tech, basically. Stark made him, like, a little... not really Stark tech. Like, the material he used to make his suit. Yeah, the suit in Infinity War. Yeah, the suit in Infinity War and stuff like that. So Yeah, he gave some of that to Izuku and stuff like that, as Izuku just played with it and stuff like that. When he played with it and stuff like that, and he realized that, well, it could be used to upgrade things. So he kind of uses it on the laptop when he's watching videos to make the quality even better than it already is. 'Cause the quality is like it's like 16K. But now the tech is at least 32K. Oh my god. Ultra vibrant cams too. But anyways, yeah, that's kind of how it worked. And basically, Izuku, as Izuku turns, hearing the door open, he looks and he sees this big purple dude. And he goes to Thanos, as he says, "Who are you?" As Thanos just looks into Izuku's eyes. He looks Izuku straight in the eyes and says, "I'm Thanos." As right when he says his name is Thanos, he gets this eerie feeling that he could possibly die. He could possibly die. Because when he looks into Izuku's eyes, he doesn't see the eyes of somebody who wants to live or the eyes of somebody who wants to kill. No. He sees the eyes of nothingness, of a consumer without end, of a creator, of a destroyer, of many things. But the thing he sees most is nothing. When he looks inside Izuku's eyes, he just sees a void of nothingness that if he were to be stuck into those eyes, no matter how much years it would take a normal person to get out of, for him, the moment he steps into those eyes, those blackish, dead fish eyes of Izuku's, he would already be known as a dead man due to how dangerous the density of the darkness in his eyes are. As Thanos had to blink. He had to do a hard blink. As a matter of fact, he had to use the Infinity Gauntlet and snap to stop himself from blinking. That's how dangerous Izuku's eyes are. And the Avengers took a stance to fight as Thanos put his hand up and said, "No, that's not it." As he got out with a look of dizziness in his eyes and a look of fear, of pure destruction, sadness, and just frightened overall, as they all said, "What the hell? What the hell did you do?" As Thanos said, "I did nothing. It's that kid's eyes." As Squirrel Girl said, "What do you mean?" As Thanos said, "So I guess you never entirely looked into his eyes, huh?" As she says, "What do you mean?" As he says, "I want all of you, one by one, to go in there and look into his eyes. I'll pull you out after 10 seconds. Any longer, and you'll be warped." As basically, that's the moment where Thanos had to use the Infinity Gauntlet just to stop himself from blinking. It wasn't the one above all who took notice of him or anything. No, it wasn't him. It was the Living Tribunal. The Living Tribunal took notice of Izuku's existence. The moment that snap happened, he just noticed Izuku's existence, not looking into his eyes. None of the sort. Cause even if somebody as powerful as Thanos, and it didn't even take Thanos a whole second. No. The moment they made eye contact was the moment Thanos lost every connection with his brain and his body. In that one split millisecond, he lost every connection in his body. And it was just from looking into the kid's eyes. What if the kid actually had powers such as the Living Tribunal's abilities, or even the one below all's, or the one of that belongs to the one above all, or Odin, or many more or Greek gods, or the Chinese gods and stuff like that, which frightened the Living Tribunal to the core. And especially if he had the powers of the Beyonders, because the Beyonders actually killed him. So having to imagine a kid like that having powers of people that are above him, not kind of like the Greek gods or anything, but like the Beyonders, the Celestials, and ego and stuff like that. It frightened him to the core, knowing that that kid wouldn't even need a little bit of his power to just bring him to his end. No, he just needs to just make eye contact with him. The moment they make eye contact, it's the end of it. It's as if Izuku's eyes alone are a genjutsu worse than the infinite Tsukiyomi, which kind of frightens him. Because anime exists, alright? yeah, so basically, they all go one by one, and they stay for 10 seconds, and when Thanos pulls them out, all of them, and I mean all of them, every single one of them, even Thor, Hulk, and even when Bruce turned into his Hulk form, that did not stop him from getting exhausted from just looking into this kid's eyes. The only person who had some sort of resistance was Squirrel Girl. And that was because when she walked in, Izuku had his sparkles, a little bit sparks in his eyes. The sparkle in his eyes came back a little bit, snapping her out of the trance a little bit. But she was still tired nonetheless. Not as exhausted as everyone else, but still. As Thanos says, I can't do it with him awake. He has to be asleep. As they said, alright, we'll wait until he sleeps tonight. As basically, they wait. They act like it's a normal day with Thanos and stuff like that. Loki, he was just doing what Loki does. Loki was trying to live the life of a regular human being for now and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's kind of how it worked. And then Loki finally came into the Stark Tower looking for Thor or some shit like that. As Loki saw Izuku as he was about to go to Izuku, but Thor grabbed his shoulder and said, Loki, do not look into that kid's eyes. As Loki says, what do you mean don't look into that kid's eyes? Why would I be scared of a kid's eyes? As he does the stupidest thing that he could, and he looks into his eyes, which Thor grabs Loki and pulls him. As Loki is exhausted, he says, impossible. What is this kid's power? Is it those eyes of his? As Thor says, no, it's not. Quite honestly, this kid is powerless beyond compare. The worst thing is, this kid, he has full access to Mjolnir. As Loki says, what? Impossible! As he says, yes, he has full access to Mjolnir. As a matter of fact, the moment I even go into contact with him, to at least just pat his back or anything, Mjolnir comes out and just blocks the place where I'm about to hit him. It's as if Mjolnir feels obligated to protect him. Even Stormbreaker feels that it should happen. As basically, it's kind of what happened. Stormbreaker, Mjolnir, they feel obligated to protect Izuku. There was even a time where, Thor was just practicing with Stormbreaker and Cap was with Mjolnir, and Izuku just stepped out as the two just came out the two's hand as basically the two just ran to him. They just ran. Not like ran, but like flied at high speeds towards Izuku, making sure that they will not hurt him no matter what. As basically, they grab Izuku's hand. Like, Izuku puts his hand up to block it, but they go inside Izuku's hand, and he's wondering, what? As Thor says, hey, boy, come here. As Izuku goes to him, kind of frightened of what Thor will do, because he sees that these are Thor's, one of them is Thor's weapon, the other one is Cap's weapon. As Thor says, take a swing with both, and at the same time, one by one. As he says, okay, he takes a swing. He takes a swing with Mjolnir first, and he sees it's heavy. Really heavy. But he's able to sustain swinging it at least once. The max he can go is probably 10. But with Stormbreaker, on the other hand, since Stormbreaker is much bigger than Mjolnir, it only took him 2 swings and he was exhausted. As Mjolnir says, this boy, he's amazing. As basically, Cap says, would you like to go to, should we take him to Wakanda to see T'Challa? As basically, as Thor says, well, if it's him, he should know how to help this boy out. As you know, he said, fine, we will plan to go in 2 weeks, but we won't stay for long because we have Squirrel Girl. As basically, the thing with Thanos is just 2 days before Izuku goes to Wakanda with Cap and the rest. As Thanos and Izuku sleep, he whispers to them and says, alright, let's go. As they all go inside, as Thanos uses the Soul Stone to project, well, no. He puts his hand on Izuku's head with his right hand, which is the one that has the gauntlet. So he puts his hand on Izuku's head as he uses, hold on. Alright, I don't know that number. Anyways, yeah. So Thanos uses, the ability to use, his reality manipulation abilities, and projects Izuku's memories, as they all see Izuku's memories. His past with Bakugo and everything that happened at UA and stuff like that, as they just see his heroic acts and stuff like that, as they see him as a pure and honest hero, and Thor finally understands why the two weapons are just so obligated to, well, just protect him. Just obligated to protect him without him having to actually call upon them. As he smiles, he smirks. Not smiles a big smile, but he smirks a little bit. As basically, even Thanos was actually quite pissed about this. He was actually quite pissed about this due to how they, well, did Izuku dirty. Because he sees great potential in the kid. Whether it be a villain or even a hero, this kid has great potential. Hell, if he was a villain, that'd be even worse for practically everyone in the universe. So, yeah. Yeah, so basically, yeah, that happens. As basically, Squirrel Girl says, well, I guess we'll take him to T'Challa in 2 days. As basically, they do that in 2 days. Thanos, he went back to where he was after he got a thank you from the rest. And they say he's always welcome to come to Earth as long as he doesn't cause trouble. As Thanos says, yeah, whatever. It's basically, they go to Wakanda in 2 days. As they inform T'Challa beforehand that they will be having another person with them. Except other than the people that they know of. As T'Challa says, alright. As basically, well, they go as Deku comes out holding Squirrel Girl's hand and stuff like that. As T'Challa says, is this the new person that you wanted to talk about? As Cap says, yeah, actually, I think you and him would get along just fine. As T'Challa says, huh? Why is that? As Stark says, well, for one, he's a big geek for electronics. He immediately after just meeting me, he took a big interest in my Stark tech, and quite honestly, he mastered the coding details of the tech, and that's practically one of the most impossible things to do. But what's even more impossible is, imagine him being able to decode your tech. As T'Challa's eyes, it widens, hearing that somebody such as Stark's tech is able to be decoded and possibly hacked. No, not even. He was able to hack it. As Stark reassured him, as T'Challa just takes even more of an interest in him. As Thor says, like you, which Mjolnir feels obligated to not hit any sort of way. It's practically stronger for him. Mjolnir and Stormbreaker are obligated to protect him, as Thor said, which surprised T'Challa. As T'Challa hears a voice from, well, one of the gods and says, T'Challa, this boy, he can possibly, yes, he can possibly do it. Yes, I want you to teach him the shadow fighting techniques. As T'Challa says, what? But I'm the only person who has ever learned to do that. As T'Challa, as they reassured him that they believe that this boy can do it. As T'Challa, he smirks and he says, my gods have taken a liking to you, young man. Would you like to come inside? As Deku nods, as T'Challa puts out his hand for Izuku to grab it, and Izuku grabs it. And that surprises everybody, even Squirrel Girl. As T'Challa looks back to see his shocked Avengers group, as they said, what? As they said, that kid, after just meeting you, he feels more comfortable around you than he does with us. As T'Challa's surprised and says, wow, so that way, huh? As Cap says, well, we have to talk to you about something else later as well. As T'Challa says, alright then. As basically, T'Challa says, well, since the Cap wants me to talk to him, I will let you stay with my sister and view the tech. As he says, he nods. He doesn't say anything, but he nods. As basically, T'Challa, he goes to Cap and he sees the Avengers just waiting there. As he says, alright, Cap, what is it? As the Cap explains the situation, he explained how they got Thanos to look at Izuku's past. As T'Challa says, and what did you see? As Cap, Stark said I was able to take a video of what we saw as he pulled it up on his watch on his iPad thing. His iPad thing. As well, he got into a flash drive, which it's just that he got into a flash drive as he showed it, as he gave it to T'Challa, and they just put it in a pad that does holograms, as T'Challa saw it. And T'Challa, let me tell you, this man was beyond enraged. He was enraged. Because not only did they not even give him recognition for the hard work he has done, they also shunned him, and they just recently outcasted him just a few weeks ago. Not only that, they even had the audacity to say that he is dangerous, and he was actually pissed off by this All Might guy for saying that, well, this boy is weak. As basically, he says, well, it doesn't matter. So, that's kind of what happened. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. As basically, we skip to Izuku and T'Challa's sister. I forgot her name, which is kind of bad for me. As basically, she knows the situation with Izuku. As basically, she shows Izuku like the basic coding things, and Izuku went from basic to advanced real quick. Like, it didn't even take him a full hour. No, he observed it for about 20 minutes. The basic coding, the numbers, the word, like the things he saw on the screen. He saw the words, like he saw the coding patterns and the actual like pictures and stuff like that. As he immediately decoded it to the point where he hacked it. He hacked it in just 30 minutes. As she saw that she was getting hacked, and she sounded the alarms, thinking that it was some other country trying to invade or something like that. But T'Challa, he came inside running, as when he looked at Izuku's direction, he was going to grab Izuku, as he notices that it was Izuku who hacked the system. As T'Challa's sister was surprised and looked at Izuku, and her eyes sparkled with excitement as she says, this kid, he's a prodigy. We have to teach him everything. As she proceeds to grab Izuku, bring him in front of the computer, and start teaching him the advanced. Like shit. That's how dangerous it was. She taught him about firewalls, how to stop viruses and stuff like that. As Deku, he sees it all. But Deku, he's a little too advanced. Like, too advanced. The Living Tribunal has been watching him. He has been watching him very closely, fearful of what could happen to him. But then he started to finally notice that, well, Izuku's not a threat. And if he did, he know about them, he did not find them as a threat. Because he met T'Challa, somebody who's able to even rival us gods. Yes, in the comics, he's able to rival the gods. He killed the god Logos, if you didn't know that. Yeah. T'Challa is able to rival the gods. As he thinks, no, it's probably because he doesn't know about T'Challa or anything like that. But he will soon come to know when Storm goes down and stuff like that. But anyways, yeah. So Izuku made a legitimate new virus. Like a new virus. Like while everybody was asleep, Izuku he took out the laptop and he started making a virus. A virus that consisted of the firewall too. There's a protective virus and a hacking virus he made. And it's more dangerous than any virus you have. And this virus, the hacking virus is a really, 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 really dangerous virus. Like the two of them are in just one. It's just that they have two big differences. First of all, the hacking virus is protected by a really strong, really, 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 really strong barrier. A really strong barrier, as a matter of fact. It's like this. It's like you're just a human being that has the power of barriers, but your barriers are really thick. Thick to the point where not even gods could possibly smite you down no matter how hard they try. That's kind of how it is, and that's how dangerous it is. So, once the hacking virus, oops, hold on, let me get some water. Once the the hacking virus just comes into contact with the information it wants, it'll expand. Breaking down the codings as well. Breaking down the codings without Izuku having to type anymore. No, he legit made this hacking virus itself. As basically, he proceeds to make a protection virus. He makes a protection virus for the hacking virus, and it's based off of a firewall. Not only that, the protection virus is even worse than the hacking virus. The protection virus is so strong that the firewall, it might as well be considered just black fire if it were actual fire itself. As then, once you come into contact with the firewall, it's not just one big virus and all. No, like every number in that protection virus is made up out of tiny, really tiny digital viruses. As a matter of fact, every number inside that virus has a number inside of it. Alright? And it's only just 2 layers of numbers inside, not like 3 or 4. No. This is probably like the lowest and weakest level of the virus that it is. And like there's an identification virus as well that makes it so that you can't trace it back to where the signal came from or anything like that. Quite honestly, if you were to hack into a city's like computer system, oh no, that'd be dangerous. Hacking for money, easy peasy. As basically, Deku made the virus. He made those two dangerous viruses. As Deku thinks he needs a virus that attacks back. An offensive virus. So he made a virus that legitimately erases the digits. Like legitimately erases the digits. And each time a digit is erased, the number that digit was, so like basically, it starts off as one virus. If it erases a 6, 6 more of the viruses appear. That's kind of how it is. And he can limit it too. And he only brings like that virus out if the protection virus is taken out. So he made that virus as he had the idea, and he said, alright, it's done. And basically the next day, T'Challa and friends are training and stuff like that. T'Challa goes to, pick up Izuku, to get Izuku up to train him. But when he goes inside, he sees Izuku knocked. And on top of him is his laptop, which he goes and he takes a quick glance at the laptop and sees, 3 folders. Protection virus, hacking virus, and offensive virus. And he says, I wonder what these are. And he opens it. He opens the hacking virus and he's shocked and quite possibly fearful. He is fearful because this kid is able to hack into his country's system. But if this kid were to use any of those viruses on his system would be destroyed. Quite honestly, it wouldn't even exist anymore, because not only that, the offensive virus erases any trace of any number of coding being put on that specific thing. So if it happened to T'Challa, any plans that he would have had erased from existence entirely. And there's no way to get it back unless you reverse time. So it's kind of dangerous. So yeah, he just takes that laptop out of Izuku's hand and he proceeds to run. Okay? He leaves Izuku to sleep and he bolts out that room. Legitimately bolts out that room. But what Izuku did, he took that file on a little flash drive and he upgraded with that Star Tech. Quite honestly, he upgraded the Star Tech that same night. That whole Star Tech, that new metal, shit, he that whole Stark Tech thing, he recreated it. And that metal, the metal that Stark used, he used it to upgrade the computer chip that he made, and he saved it on there. As then he proceeds to, sleep. Just sleep. He didn't notice that T'Challa was in here. So now we skip to T'Challa. Son T'Challa is bolting down the stairway. Son is bolting down the stairway, every corner, everywhere. As they're confused because they see a laptop in his hand as T'Challa calls for his sister's name, as she comes into the living room and she says, what? As he puts the laptop down on the table as he says, come here, as everyone comes to him. As she says, what? As he says, look, as son T'Challa shows her the folder. As she's shocked. She is shocked. And so are the other Avengers. They're shocked of what Izuku is about to do, of what Izuku is capable of, as they try to see if they can delete it. Well, they have to save it first. Well, not save it, because, they can't seem to save it. That is, they can't seem to save it. No matter what they do, they can't seem to save the information. It's as if he made that folder. He made those folders specifically. As Stark says, I don't think I can solve that. I don't think I can solve that. As they try to use their own computers to hack into it. As their own computers got hacked, which set off the alarm. As Deku, he woke up immediately. He said, what's going on? As they see everybody running around and stuff like that, because they can't stop the hacking of Deku's virus from stopping. As Deku, he goes downstairs to see everyone in a panic, as they said, what's going on? As Deku sees his laptop, as he says, oh, I see it now. As they said, what? As they try to hide it, as Deku says, no, I already anticipated this would have happened. As T'Challa was like, what? What do you mean? As Deku says, I anticipated that somebody would probably find this, since, I fell asleep before I could even close it. As T'Challa says, oh, I see. And it's basically, Deku says, Give me the laptop. As T'Challa brings him the laptop, as Deku, he looks into one of the folders, and he looked at which one was in use, and he saw that it was, well, the protection virus. As Deku says, "Oh dear, you kind of effed up. I'm not gonna lie to you." As T'Challa says, "What do you mean?" As Deku says, "Well, the protection virus is kind of worse than the hacking virus. So, where's your computer?" As as they took him to the computer, as Deku says, "This is gonna take me an hour, so you might want to leave." As Deku takes that hour and he finishes it, as whilst doing it, he stole some ideas from Wakanda, legitimately. As the gods, like T'Challa's gods, are watching this and they're laughing their asses off. Hold on. So the gods are laughing, and T'Challa's wondering what's going on because he can hear them laughing as they proceeded to say, "I'd be more cautious of that kid. He took some ideas from me just now." As T'Challa said, "What? Is he going to use them for badass?" They reassured him that, well, he's not. As that's where I'm going to be leaving it off. We're still not done with the arc of him meeting T'Challa or anything, because he's going to learn about T'Challa beating logos and the gods and stuff like that in the past Black Panthers and the learning of the Shadow Step. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. This has been part 1 of What If Deku Married Squirrel Girl. And yeah, this has been Lotus What Ifs out. Bye, my little stars.